All right, there's a few people I know could not be here tonight. Excuse me one second. I need to put this on mute because my phone has been dinging like this all freaking day, and I've about had it. So I'm on do not disturb now.
Stop being so famous, Molly.
No, it's not that. Believe me, I wish. No, don't believe the hype. Doesn't work. Do not disturb. Okay, there we go. Um, okay. Welcome everybody. Good to see who's here. And if you were on the replay, hopefully this is going to help you. I'm picking one subject tonight, and I know you've probably heard a lot of this since it's been out, but I'm sure if everybody was completely honest, probably I would say 85% of us, say that, us, including myself here, are not using it or using it to its fullest capacity. And when I say that, I don't mean just using the tool. I mean using the tool as it kicks the door open for you and then walking through the door. So we're going to talk about the 60-second health survey, because I think more has to be talked about than just simply using the survey. Because I think that and I don't think this is just us. I need you to, I cross the board with Market America. And if any company had this, you get really excited when you get a tool because you think that the tool is going to bring you the customer. You think the tool is going to bring you your next team member. That's really not what tools are for. Tools are about opening up a door for you that may not have otherwise been open to give you entry, to have a conversation, to build a relationship, to build trust. And although so many of us are social media and learning social media, look, that's really, I would like to think, if you think about when we first started and there was Facebook, and even before Facebook, all the things that they had, Facebook became great because
Oh,
families and people like that could keep in contact with each other. Otherwise, if you didn't make the phone call, if you didn't write the letter, daggone, my sister-in-law and her family, they're still writing letters back and forth. Every time I get a letter in the mail to give her, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. People still writing letters. We do emails, we do all of these things. It's to keep in touch. What we found out very quickly is it's also a way to meet people. I think about AOL used to have all the chat rooms where you could go meet people and hook up, and Facebook got all the stuff going on too. You won't get a little kinky? They got it all out there. You know what I'm saying? They got Becky, you know they do. We haven't been in a while, Becky, but you know we do. You know, just saying. So yeah, Lee, really, it's where I met you. Tell the truth. So, anyways, I just believe that we just don't look at it and follow it all the way through. Now, I know that what has been, I don't even want to say preach because that's not what has been suggested. There's my word. Suggested is that you do 3 a day. But like I have always said, and I still believe in this business and every business, what you choose to do has got to meet you where you're at. And if you have another job, if you have 2 jobs, like some people, if you have family, if you have people that you're taking care of, if I, even in with what I do now, sometimes, matter of fact, most of the time, I never do 3 a day. I've got to be honest. I don't. I do 5 a week. 5 a week is what I do. I'm not telling you not to shoot for it, but I'm not in a place to do that and be able to follow through and do what I need to do. And if you're going to do this and you're not going to follow through, hey, Tracy, good to see you. Hey, Phyllis, Kim, I see you there. Denise, good to see you. Um, so what I want to do is talk a little bit, just a little bit about this, but then I'm going to be the boring person. I want you to hear a couple of videos and I want you, and they're short, none of them are long, but what I want to stress is every single thing that you hear is never about just introducing the video and somebody, or introducing the survey and they got orders. I've yet to hear that. By the way, I have not made one sale. I've sent it out to I want to say 32, 37 people. And I have gotten, I think, 7 sales. But here's the key. All 7 people who I sent the survey to, I was already talking to them about products. So what happened is when I gave them the survey and they put what their issues were, and I had told them what I thought and was playing, please, Jesus, have it be right. What happened is those products came up in the survey. And what I found is when I started doing the follow-up, hey, what did you think of it? I see what it told you. And they said, oh my gosh, those two things are exactly what you told me you thought I should start with. But then the conversation for most went, but Molly, I can't do all of this. And we all know that. We know that part of the survey can be a little bit overwhelming. I need you to know that one of the first things I do is say, when you pick the problems, what's the most important problem to you? What's the most important thing? Now, for me, because all of my people just about have been women, it's been number one thing has been weight loss, has been weight loss. But what was really sweet about that is that the same thing that was suggested for them is exactly what I had already started taking, and I was already seeing results. So then it became, if they purchased it, hey, we need to be accountability partners. Now, some people went, oh, you don't mean a group. I don't want to be in a group because people don't always want to share. Nope. I have a list. And I said, no, you're going to keep me accountable. I'm going to keep you accountable. I have 15 people right now that I'm keeping accountable. Lord knows if I go off this thing and have a cake binge, I'm in trouble because 15 people going to come down on me for sure. But what's great is, like, I had Sandy, one of my girls today, Sandy said, oh my gosh, Molly, I went and bought one of those scales that you were telling me about that measure the body fat and the BMI and all of that. Not that I told her she had to go do that. She was just asking how I got that information. I said, Lee bought a scale and I don't know what half of it means, but that's just what it shows. And she said, I went and got one, and she said, this scale says that I'm down 3 pounds. My 15-year scale told me I was down 2 pounds. She says, I'm going to take the 3 pounds. She says, but now I feel like if I'm losing or things are becoming better, she says, I feel like now I can track that, because we all know sometimes it's not poundage that shows, it is inches. It is things in your body. For instance, on my Fitbit, I've been tracking how much better I sleep. Of course, I'm walking again. So where does that come in? Where is my cardio with everything? Some people just want to do the whole, oh yeah, I've lost a half a pound or I've lost a pound. So what I've done is I've met them where they're at. Okay. Some people are like Sandy, like, oh, I got this and I want to know X, Y, and Z. And she's somebody who lives in Florida and she goes and takes pictures of alligators all the time. So believe me, I'm not on her scale at all. But the point is, she is like, look, all the walking I do, something wasn't working. She has been on this 3 weeks and just showed weight loss. Just showed weight loss. Now that is encouraging, because again, they also think that this specific thing, like everything, is a miracle pill or a miracle shot or whatever it is. That's not what this is at all. Dr. D says it all the time. And if you were on what Beth Black gave us, that short, very to the point, what does this do? What does this GLP-1 in our body do? It was just so informative to let you know what this was doing to the GLP-1 in our gut. So thinking about this health survey, I mean, how many are using it currently? Not have you ever used it currently? Joy, Coco, Janae, Richard. Okay. Okay. So hands down, who has tried it, it didn't work, and you haven't sent it out since? Come on, put them up. Okay, who's never tried it? Okay, where are the rest of you? Are you even on the call? Just wondering.
I tried it once or twice, but I just have not. And I did get one person to, but I had already been talking to her.
You've been talking to her, but
Right.
did it open up the conversation to more, or did you even have a conversation?
We did have a conversation, and it was about the stuff that it recommended, and we'd already been discussing those products.
Those, which immediately validated exactly what you were talking about.
Right. Right.
100% right.
Well,
So
I did want to
Scott and I
share
have
one.
been,
Oh,
Okay.
Go ahead, Janae.
One person at a time. Go ahead. And what we're going to do, listen to me. We've got to stop this too. I love that we've got an open forum. Everybody's got some. I'm trying my best to pay attention to the hands because Scott is training me. He is, because Scott's the one I look for now to have his hands raised. But I want to make sure you get your say. But I'm watching the person who's talking and I'm all over the place. So yeah. So Coco, you start because I heard you first, and then we'll let Janae come in.
Okay, I put my hand up.
You're good. Go ahead.
All right, so Scott and I have been pushing the 60-second health survey, and we have mediocre results. We do get this thing where we go and talk to the people after they take the survey and tell them, look at all these different products and what do you think is your main issue? And yeah, this is probably what you want to start with. And I always make it a point telling them, you don't have to buy all 6, 7 products. Just start with one thing.
Right.
And when that works for you, then you look at the next thing. And we have
Strategy.
positive responses, but we haven't had a lot of sales, a few
Okay.
sales, but not a whole bunch.
Okay, so Coco, we're on you now. So how many surveys do you think that you've sent out? Just guesstimate. Just guesstimate.
Well, I 25, maybe 30.
And I did
Okay.
one today.
And Scott
Okay.
did another one today. So we try to do a few every week, especially when we run into people that hold still long enough for them to talk to, for us to
Right.
talk to them. And so the health survey is always our icebreaker, so to speak. When they tell us, I have some issues with this and that, you can just take our 60-second health survey and we can probably guide you in the right direction how to solve that problem or how to have help with that problem. So that has really worked. And actually, Darren is a result of that, right? Darren took the health survey and then he is now looking at the business.
Okay,
So that's the one that was scheduled for this morning and then needed to go to work. We have one lady that we met at the sip and paint that we had this weekend, and she's out of town for a funeral, but she wants us to get back with her when we come back. She's interested in the weight loss. So the survey does open up some doors, but it's not the one and everything. You can't just go by, okay, I'm going to do 3 surveys and that's all I need to do. If you're serious about building this business, you need to start establishing relationships. This is a relationship business.
No, 100% it is. Now let me ask this, Janae. I know you're there, babe. Hold on one second. So this is a relationship business. This is open the door. And look, I don't know about y'all, but here you go. Vulnerability. We have so many products that as much as I think I know, there's so much I don't know. That can be very, very intimidating. No matter, I don't care if you've been in 15 months with me. I don't care if it seems like everybody knows everything else. There's a lot of people who know more than us. But what I love about the survey, and look, y'all know me. Look, let's be honest. I did not like the other health survey. I like none of that stuff. I don't. Not the survey girl. It's not who I am. It's okay if you are. I'm here for it. But I'm not. But I don't always feel like I know what to ask people. And then when I get the results, what I really love is they've picked the problem. I have a system that has picked the products, but now I have bullet points to say because of what this product does to be able to say, okay, number one, what is your number one thing that if you had to pick one thing to work on, what would it be? But then I can look at those 2 products and I can simply say, okay, these do this, this, and this. I also, if I have a customer on something, or I've seen results, or I've heard it on a Zooming for Success, or seen it on people that I'm following. If you're not following people from Market America, you need to. You need to. These people are the experts in the field. They've been doing this. You need to be following Nutrimetrics on Instagram, Go Trim, all of it, because it gives us all these little facts. The little facts are what's helped me, because me going to each and every product and trying to pick out the page of scientific, I'm glad it's there for my people who want that. That is really intimidating. I'm going to tell you that. It's very intimidating. But I love this, that I start out saying, I don't know everything. I don't know everything, but I do love this survey because this is narrowing down things for you and me so that I can help you with what you need. Now, some people will simply say, well, this is kind of cool, Molly, I'm already taking fish oil. Molly, I'm already taking this. And I very much get into, what are you taking? How are you taking? Like, what company? Are you getting it through Amazon? Like, who are you taking it with? Because remember, we have a company that when you think about what is this thing that's isotonics, everybody here should be able to explain the delivery system. I think we hear it every single call, why this is better. And most people, if they were like me, I had no clue before Market America that taking that 3 of those vitamin C pills, those horse pills, was not doing the same thing. So I think, one, it can help educate you as you talk to people. By the way, even if they say no, I'm sorry, are we new to the business? No doesn't mean no, it means not right now. And if you stop talking to them, if you stop building the relationship past the 60-second survey, then you know what they think? The only reason you communicated with them was for a survey and a sale. I mean, how awful to think. You know how many people do that to me on an everyday basis? Oh, Molly, I saw in your house you have candles. Oh, hey, have you ever thought, can I send you samples of these? Blah, blah, blah. It's all good. And if I go, hey, right now, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep your information. But dude, I've got like 8 candles in my garage right now. And then I don't hear from them again. They don't comment on anything that I post. I don't see them again. I've said no. And you know what it said to me? I would rather go buy from another Scentsy person than ever buy from you, because there was nothing genuine about that contact. I'm sure people I'm connected to, I'm always going on their post. I'm always commenting on their stuff, that kind of stuff. I know I harp on this all the time, the relationship thing, but if you are here strictly for the sales, this is not going to work for you, because people have to trust you first. But what if you could get your foot in the door? I'm not asking you to be their best friend. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not asking you to be their best friend. But what if you could get your caring foot in the door to have a conversation with them, and you just listened to what they had to say, what they thought bought this about? Maybe they have more stuff going on. And maybe it's not the weight loss then, but they're not sleeping good or any of that. Just listen. And all of a sudden, we've switched to now Bliss gummies or Bliss stress, because they said weight loss was their top thing. But when you have a conversation with them, the first thing I do when I start listening is I realize, girlfriend, the reason you're not losing weight is because you're so stressed and you're not sleeping, and girl, there are other problems going on here for sure. So sometimes it's the survey gets you in, but it gets you in for a conversation. I always say, look, I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. Tell me a little bit, tell me about a day in your life. Just briefly, tell me a day in your life. I want to know, where are you coming from? Now, that doesn't mean that this is where you think, I can't sit there and just wait. No, no, no. You don't got to sit there right then and have it. If you got to walk away because you're walking, if this isn't a PM, if this is a text, you just get back to them just like they get back to you. Hey, sorry about that. Was that work when I answered this? I wanted to get back to you on this. Boom. I went out to eat with my husband. Do you think they don't understand that? But you think that when you have to sit there or they don't answer right away, whatever it is, you start taking it personally. My Lord, if I took everything personally on social media, I would have been off of it 20 years ago, because it's all personal when it comes down to it. But it's really not. It's just their lives, guys. So, what I'm saying is, you're quitting before there could be a result. You're quitting before things can happen. You're walking away from an open door that they just opened for you, when you've been sitting there knocking on posts and throwing products out there and leaving your links out there and everything else. And suddenly they open a door, and what happens? You just go, okay, just wanted to see if I opened it. You said no right now, so I'll talk to you later. Bye. I know you didn't say it, but you think that's not how they take it? It is. It is, because it is a relationship business. Janae, what did you have to say, dear?
I was gonna say, I've made it a habit aside from sending out the survey of like, say for instance, if I'm already talking to a customer about products or they've asked me specifically about what I'm using, or I've just been actively listening to what their needs are before offering anything at all. I like to add it in as a way of, if you want, like whenever they say they know which products they want to purchase, if you want to save 10% off of your order, if you complete a 60-second survey, you not only will get a coupon, but you also have options of what you could choose from the next time you place your order. So that way they have a active list in their email that they can refer to at any time. And then they also get the discount that they use right away. And I had 3 people that so far have placed orders from doing that alone.
That's great. That's a great piece of advice. I appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah.
All
So it's
right.
like, instead of just trying to focus mainly on, hey, complete the survey so that way we can see, yes, it should be a conversation starter, obviously. But if you already have people that you've been talking to for a while about products and they just haven't taken that next step, use it as an incentive. People always like to get discounts. They like to get stuff free. Pay attention to what things may get marked down. Pay attention to what offers are happening, especially whenever Dr. D has our monthly challenges. Use those to your advantage too, and go from there. Your son's bringing food, so I'm
I
like,
know. Hi, son.
he said, "Hi, son." He said, "Hi." It's funny
Yeah.
because I'm sitting out in the car just so that I don't have to transfer from the phone to the computer. But um, yeah, so far it's been working pretty well. I actually have another girl that she recently came and cleaned my house, and Molly knows about it and Phyllis knows, but not only did she clean my house, she ended up taking home some magnesium. She took home H2 tab and she took home the curcumin extreme to try. And she reached back out to me telling me that she went 2 solid days of not feeling like she needed rest. She was like, I actually felt well rested and felt a lot clearer. She's
Yeah.
like, what did you say? What did you give me again? I need that information. And I was just like, yeah, absolutely. Here's the survey you can also take to get 10% off. She's like, thank you so much. I'll use that. But then she also had a friend who works at the hair school that I told y'all about. I'm going to be presenting to them about the custom blend and an entrepreneurial journey to the
Yeah.
students there, which was
Love
a
that.
completely unexpected blessing out of all of that. So even though I didn't sell anything to her right away, it still opened up many doors for more referrals too. So you never
And,
know.
wrapping up with Janae, and this story is, look, Janae has always been a relationship person. She just is. I mean, if you watch her on TikTok, I do look, I go watch her and watch what she does on TikTok. I roll my eyes at her. I do. She has just comment. I just roll my
Why?
eyes. But it's just, it's who she is, but that's why people love her. I get annoyed with her. They love her. That's okay. That's how we roll, but it's all good. But she is, and the thing is, I've seen people when they're not interested, she just makes fun, like, okay, it's all right. Next person gonna be interested. No problem. Here we go. That's just
Mhm.
how she rolls. So thank you for that, Janae. Scott, what you got for us?
So let me lower my hand. Can you hear me now?
Again,
Okay. So one of the things that I've been listening to that is JR telling what we're not. And today we actually had a meeting. I said, it was canceled. Said, we're going forward. And Petra stepped out and got 10 people invited and one took in. And his wife is so, she's been in several network marketing. So I was able to tell him why this is not multi-level marketing because of what JR taught us. And then at the end, Petra had sent him the survey, but I pulled it up on my phone and I went through it with him as an example, and I showed him how much it costs us a day for the items that came up, and then I showed him the video. And he's gonna do the survey, but he came to one of our presentations a while back, and I think he's still anxious. But his eyes got big. Wait a second. What do you mean 2 tiers and nothing horizontal? it just opened his eyes, and I was able to deal with all the excuses that his wife has been handing him.
But the key is, it's not just one conversation. The key is
Right.
many conversations. And as they're having conversations, they are building relationships. Scott, that is great. I'm so glad you all shared, because I wanted you guys to share what you've been doing, because I was so honored to be on one of those with you guys the other day. And I have to tell you, your people are coming. They're coming because of what you're doing together as a couple, and the fact that you're getting out there, you're sharing it. You're doing it scared. You're doing it even though you don't know it all, and you don't know the presentation maybe exactly like every time that you've heard it, but you're getting out there and you're getting it done, and you're going to be pros at this by the time you get done. And you're finding out from people like this gentleman that you're learning how to deal with these questions when they come up. And you're, like you said, I know he's going to take it. He probably will. I was showing him, but it was a conversation for you. So I love that, guys. So keep doing what you're doing. And let me say one thing relatable to everybody on here as part of Avon. Now, T-Paul, me, look, we have always been, I want you to think back to the old Avon days. And you know what? We could take every old brochure we ever had, and we'd bag them up and box them up and tag them up and do what we did. And we'd go out in the neighborhoods, and we would throw them into neighborhoods, put them at doorsteps, walk them, hang them on doors, go into apartment buildings, do all of that. And you know what? Most of the time, I know when I did it, because I was doing it at midnight, I wasn't talking to nobody. I was just putting them in there. But I built a customer base like that. But listen to me. This is, if I had had the opportunity to talk to the people that I was throwing the brochures in the driveway, but it was not where my life was when I started. If I had had that opportunity, I probably would have acquired more customers, because I would have built more relationships with a hi, how you doing? Instead of just T, am I wrong?
No, 100%, because that's how I built my business initially, was going door to door. I was working and I wanted to quit that job and do it full time. And on the weekends, I was going door to door and knocking on doors, because I needed to talk to the people and see who was interested. And so that's totally how I built my business, was talking. Later on, after I was damaged and couldn't do that anymore, then I was still tossing the books. But no, I always had more success talking to people in person, face to face.
That's what,
And
see,
that's what I'm seeing with
she
this
did.
too, though. As much as I post on social media and stuff, I'm talking to people about this business, and it's awkward to bring up sometimes. Like, you don't know how to introduce the conversation, but I am finding a lot of people just ask me, "So what are you doing now? You're not doing Avon," so that makes it easy to talk about. But
Sure does.
yeah, but the follow-up is really important. And I hate that I'm not following up like I used to, because I preached that 100%.
Yeah, and
So
I think that is a lot of the key, 100% key. And I guess, look, my deal with bringing up the whole Avon thing, I know I hate bringing Avon up all the time, but it's the same thing. I couldn't go knock on their door, right? So what happened is there was something there. That brochure was opening a door, right? But I was hoping they were going to contact me so that I could then start building a relationship. Things like this 60-second survey is the same thing, but different. It is opening up a door for you to, I know this isn't what you want. I need you, when you're doing that, stop concentrating just on the sale. I promise you, if you quit concentrating on making the sale at that moment, and you concentrate on the problem they're having and talking about what we have that can make the problem better, maybe, and hear their life, ask something about them. Again, we can't be the people who preach that we're trying to help people get better when all we're trying to do is get the commission of the sale. That's the truth.
Let me tell
I,
you something that I found really works for me. Ask these people about themselves and let them talk.
let them talk.
Don't interrupt them, just nod your head and let them talk. You will hear so much that you can go back to later on and start the conversation in the direction you needed to go.
Yeah.
And you'll also hear if they're even interested in bettering themselves or
Mhm.
if they are looking for help. Some people don't want help. I'm
No,
serious. And you
they
offend
don't.
them if you offer it. So listen real closely. Give them a few minutes to talk, and you'll hear more than you think if you really listen.
Yeah, I think so. And I also believe that, think about this too. Some of you are events people, and some of you, you're just getting ready to have events. And some of you are, Janae, I do see your hand up, sweetie. 1 second. Some of you have got the custom blend. You're getting ready to introduce this at different places. The one thing I can think about when I think about this custom blend or events, look, I had events, my gosh, for the first 15 years of my other business, there were events every year, so many of them that I did. But the point is this, when people came up to the table, I wasn't like, hey, look what I got. Come on. You know you're talking about. They don't know. And you know what they're doing? They're acting like they're looking over your head and they're going to the table over there because the last thing they want to see that. But immediately it's like, what do I have that would capture them? No lie, like the wheel. We had the wheel, we spun the wheel, everybody could spin it for $1, whatever that was. Or would you like to enter for $100 worth of products? Remember those days? And they'd come in and you'd get their information. But while somebody was finishing out, somebody would be like, oh my gosh, Avon, well, how long have you been doing that? Or it would be like, but that skincare right there, I think I've seen that in a book. What is that? But immediately you start talking, it's about them. You let them answer the questions. You talking to their kids, telling them how beautiful they are, even if they ain't. You tell them they are because everybody wants to hear their kids is beautiful, right? They all do. And I'm just like, little Johnny, I mean, Josephine is beautiful. It's all good, right? That is what we do in this business, y'all. We love on the people. And when you love on the people, and I immediately say, hey, look, if you don't mind, like, is it okay if I reach out to you next week? I just would love to check on you and see how is this working. Do you know what I've realized? Nobody checks on people these days. Even the people who haven't bought a thing from me, when I go, hey, I don't want to bother you, but would it be okay if I check back with you? I hearing your story. I want you to know you got a friend, man. Like, if you need to talk to me, it's all good. Do you know I haven't had one person who says, no, Molly, it's okay, I'll be good. I'm good. Forget it. I don't need you. Haley one time said that. One time Haley said, don't call me. I don't need you in my life. But other than Haley, it was all good. So the point is, we're too focused on we just want the sale. And I'm going to tell you, this isn't any different. If you had customers that you never had to talk to them and all you had to do before is just drop their order off at the door, I don't know. I don't understand that. Maybe. I mean, there are many people I did, but before that, I was on a conversation on the phone, like, hey, how you doing? I got your order. I got your stuff. Baby, you're going to love this product. It's awesome. And I'm going to leave it. Can you leave the check underneath? Whatever. It's not any different. But I think this comes from you thinking you can't. This quiz, I swear to you, will open doors. They will not open all the doors, but they will open some doors. But not unless you decide to go in with the conversation, not unless you ask about them, not unless you zero in on what their number one thing is that they're looking. And if they say no, be okay and go, hey, wow, well, look, if what you're going through isn't working for you, and in a month, sometimes the doctors have put them on something. Hey, look, would it be okay if I check back in? Because, hey, if you want to ask the doctor about this, you have an appointment next month. Are you writing that down so you can check on them? Because maybe the problem is you not following up, as Teresa would say, because they said they had an appointment in a month. And are you following up to say, hey, how did that go? Just wondering, did the doctor see any benefit in magnesium? because all the doctors know that your body can't produce magnesium on its own. And most people are magnesium deficient. We know that. So my question is, will you be willing to present this with a different outlook and a different attitude? And for those who are doing this and you feel like it's working for you, don't change a darn thing if it's working for you. Do not keep doing your thing. But I believe that you all have you got so used to hearing yeses before that now suddenly the no's hurts your feelings. I'm sorry, guys. You're in a business, you're still going to get no's. You're in a business where you're still going to hear people say no. I just go, you know why I say not right now? I can name 3 people off the top of my head who were not in any way interested in our product or our company for their own reasons. But when other people started sharing what they were doing, and I kept just putting it out there, this is what's happening with me, with my women's health, boy, these H2 tablets, oh my gosh, this Go Trim Thin, this is where I'm at. Do you know what happened? They swallowed their I don't want anything to do with you and go, hey, Molly, I saw that you said you had a discount. And I was thinking maybe I would just give this thin a month. No, I'm very honest. I'm like, if you're just going to give it a month, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. I don't know any supplement we have that's just for a month. Now, I believe you'll see results in a month, but I believe that if you're serious about getting your body working good so that your body will start losing weight, and if you're serious about feeling different, because this is what I needed. I needed to not have cravings. I needed to not want to eat in the middle of the night. I needed to not eat as much when I was eating. And that only happened going into week 3 for me. And now I can tell I'm on a path where I finally feel like the things that I was suffering from, this is starting to wake up the GLP-1. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is, but something's happening and people are realizing maybe this is. And it's just for that product. Let me real quick. Has anybody been to hold on, share sound? Has anybody been to, where's that? There it is. Okay. Has anybody been to the 60-second health quiz and actually looked at the page for the 60-second health quiz?
Yes.
You have? Some of you have? Anybody been there recently? Has it, okay, don't lie to me because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you've been there recently, you're going to have seen something that would make you very proud as a team member, because it certainly made me proud. So let's take a look. I'm gonna hike on over here. I love this because I can't read this enough, and I always go back, and I do. I watch these videos again and again because I want to get better at this. I want to deep dive onto why and how. And suddenly I realized they have been doing some interviews, and as I went down, who did I see? Wow. I think I know this girl right here on the screen. I know Cullen, I know Happy. Right. We know Mr. Happy here, but let's listen to what Janae has to say. Let me know if you can hear this.
All right. Well, I am on with an amazing up and coming on franchise owner. Miss Janae is just making magic happen with the brand new 60-second health quiz. And I wanted her to jump on with me today and share a little bit about the latest order that she just received today. So exciting. So Janae, fill us in. What happened with this latest person?
So I actually sent her the survey back during leadership school when you guys initially announced the 60-second survey. And I was just like, oh, I gotta send this because I know she would absolutely take full advantage of this. But the crazy part was she actually didn't complete the survey until 2 days afterwards. That day she tried to place an order. We had a little hiccup because she moved recently and put in the wrong billing information. So we weren't aware until after the fact that her order had canceled, which is what it's supposed to do. So I ended up following up with her immediately after that and said, hey, I noticed that your order got canceled. Just wanted to double check to see if there was anything I could do on my end. Let me know if there's anything I could do to help. She just newly had a baby too. So there's a lot of chaos going on with moving into a new house, all these things. And so I just kind of gave her the time to figure it out, but just planting seeds here and there to just see what she thought. And she reached back out to me, was completely unaware that that had happened. She thought her order got delayed. And so she went back in today, took the survey again, because I think she wanted the 10%, took the survey again, and she not only placed the order, but it was actually bigger than the initial order that she placed. And it was because she got slightly different results. But the cool part about that was how when she asked me what products I used, I asked her, why don't you look at the survey results first? Then we can connect over what your results are. And then I can share a little bit about whether I've tried those products or what my recommendations could be. Because I think the most important thing that we have to remember about the survey is not only that we're building that relationship, initiating that conversation, but we also can use that as a starting point for what products they get and then tie in other beneficial alternatives or options that they could use with those products. So it's kind of building that relationship, not necessarily just focusing on getting the sale. You want to keep the relationship and conversation going. So that's what my main focus was. And she's super excited to try her products. So she actually has reached out to me too, because I'm a certified custom blend artist because of our amazing company. She wants to get a custom blend as well. So aside from getting the wellness products that the survey took care of, she also wants to get a custom blend too that the survey doesn't take care of. So it's just a lot of great opportunities from this, for sure.
Amazing. So the one conversation led to another conversation, and now you're off to the race and adding share of customer in that process of just building a relationship, knowing that we got multiple product lines that we offer.
Absolutely.
And so now you're rolling. And so now also, so the next step is what? Making her a testimony, right? Because obviously we're going to get her the results, because that's the real key. Because if she's a realtor, she knows everybody in town. She can tell everybody about how amazing she's feeling on their product and or the custom blend, looking amazing, feeling amazing. Everybody's gonna be like, you just got to go talk to Janae and take this quiz I took, and then off to the races.
I received that.
Yes. Amazing.
So we definitely are excited about it. She really is one of my best supporters. We've been friends for years, and I know that she loves word of mouth. That's the best marketing tool. So when you build a relationship, I asked her, do you know of anyone else who is looking for wellness alternatives? And if they are, please feel free to send them my survey. I'll send you some free samples as a gift, but that way it keeps the momentum going instead of it just stopping there. So I could easily see her being a future business partner as well, because she's very driven and loves building relationships and also has a passion for serving others too. So I can see God moving in a lot of ways in this. So I'm very excited. I've seen it all throughout the company. I mean,
now, did you see Janae just use something that she's learned from another company? Girl, if you send somebody else my way who may have some wellness things, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you some samples that I got. I'm sorry. How many of you did that? How many of you did that before? Somebody going to send you somebody, or you want them to do? Now she's given her incentive to say, now that the door is open here, hey, do this, and I'm going to make sure that I reward you for that. Let's listen to a little bit more.
I mean, what can I say?
How about it? How about it? Amen to that. And so what would be, in closing this out, what would be your top tip? Because you're really great at getting people to complete the quiz, which I know a lot of people get a little bit nervous in the approach, or they're just texting them out, hoping people take it. They're crossing their fingers. But how are you approaching people to have it be a meaningful approach and getting, to ensure that they actually take the quiz?
One, it's honestly about intentionality. When you want to get to that next step, don't just focus on trying to just get somebody to take the quiz and then all of a sudden they place an order. Don't even have that expectation. Like, throw that out the window for now. Right now, we are just planting seeds to build a relationship. Once you get once you get your foot in the door, right? Then start having a conversation about it. Ask them what their thoughts were on the survey. You don't even have to ask them about their results yet. Ask them how they thought about the survey. Like, what do you feel? What feedback could you give us? Even though we know we love the survey, most of our customers love the survey, just to kind of make it personal. How do you feel about the survey? Like, what would you do differently if there was anything? I have yet to have someone tell me they wouldn't do anything differently. I actually had one client that told me that this was by far one of the best health surveys that she's taken, because it is so specific on the questions, and it is simple, but specific. That makes it so much easier. And then start to build a relationship, being very consistent on how you follow up with them. Don't focus on the sale. And then as you continue to build that relationship, eventually they will come with no problem. They want that. They want you to build the relationship excuse me, people don't want to be sold. And I think that's the most important thing to understand. We don't want to be sold. And if you don't want someone coming to you with an intention to just get a quick sell so that you feel used in that moment, you just want people that you're building relationship and community with. You believe in the products, you market your brand, the people will come. Just be consistent, keep showing up every day, keep being intentional about how you're having those conversations, and then the results will follow. I
That's
hope that
right.
answered that question. I know I kind of went
No,
a
it's
little.
perfect. I mean, look, we see what their top health goals are, and then you identify out of those top three. If they pick three, then it will be the top one. Why is it the
Mhm.
top one? Really engage that conversation in order to drill in a little deeper on why they pick that as their top health goal. And they'll tell us stuff. Let's face it, people start talking, they're going to tell us everything that they got going on. And that
Yeah,
helps us identify we are getting them to the right products to provide a
absolutely.
solution, because that's what we do is we solve problems for people, and that's why
Absolutely.
people love us, and that's a
They
beautiful
do.
position to be in, right?
Yes. And that's why
That's
it's so important to be an active listener. Don't be the person to try to just talk their ear off. We don't want to word vomit people and scare them away. But just be an active listener. Like Colin said, people will 9 times out of 10 tell you exactly what they're looking for if you just take the time to listen first before you speak. So
that's right.
10 out of
That's
10
right.
recommend it. Now go out there and send those surveys out and build those relationships.
That's right. Come on, high five on that, girl.
Ah, Janae, great job. I saw that the other day and I was just absolutely 100% very proud of you, to the point. Nothing different than you say here. The same thing that you're showing everybody. That's when I was agitated because you didn't get on the phone with me and you probably wanted to talk to you. I didn't know that's what that was all about. But congratulations, that was really great. Now look, there's a couple on there, more on there. I want to show you the Janae because Janae is ours, right? But Wendy has a great one on there. Matter of fact, Wendy says that she she asked her hairdresser, who's a guy, just please, I know you've been my hairdresser for 20 something, but could you please just take the survey for me? He's like, okay, I'll take it for you. He says, but I've already got my supplements. You know, I already taken them. I'm not going to change, blah, blah, blah. He took the survey. He went into more depth with the stuff and he calls her and she's like, what? You want to get what? Because she was just all thankful. Thank you so much. Again, these are all different scenarios and there's like 3 or 4 that are on there and he's doing more of them. He's capturing because they're tracking what people are sending and how many people are actually making sales eventually from it. And again, that's what happens. So what I would like to ask of you, and don't everybody jump at the same time or anything, but what do you get from this? What do you think you could do differently using this that would work for you? I mean, I can sit here and tell you all day long what I think that you need to do and where I don't think you should give up. But my question is, I am not with you all the time, and I don't know what you're doing that maybe isn't working for you, but I can tell you all the things that I do wrong, that I have learned from. And this has been such a freaking learning experience for me. The survey stuff and every way, and look, they're improving stuff every single day, but this is all new. Um, but it's worth it once you start acquiring the trust of people, when you get them taking one thing and they say, but I can't sleep. What do you have for that? And all they were taking plus they were just taking a vitamin. They were taking daily essentials. But now they want to know, do we have something? Why? Because we have a relationship and we're talking and I'm checking on them. So what can you do differently? Or is there anything here that any of you have seen that you're like, you know what? I think I need to give this thing a shot. Joy?
I think this conversation has led me to think that some of the people that I've sent surveys to, well, let me back up on that one. Some of the people that I have sold products to that didn't stick with it, maybe I need to go back and revisit them with the survey and try to talk about the products that are in there with them instead of the products, because in the beginning, a lot of them started with Core 3 Health.
Mm-hmm.
That's not all that's there. And this survey is a good opportunity, I think, to revisit these people that didn't stick with anything.
I think it's great. Miss Joy, did you ever, after they got the Core 3, did you revisit to say, hey, How is the core 3 going for you? Do you notice any differences? Because Miss Joy, I was you in the beginning. I need you to know that was one of the mistakes that I was making. And I just thought, okay, they got it. They're going to love it just like me. And I guess they'll tell me. And they didn't. And I should
did.
have followed up.
I did about a week into it.
Okay.
And, 2 of them I remember because they were my first ones.
Mhm.
One didn't like the isotonics because I can't even imagine why. And I think a part of that was the magnesium because
Okay.
it's hard to get to, dilute.
Right.
And the other was, oh, I forgot now. Trying to think what the other one. Oh, the other one had taken it and said that, well, she's after 3 weeks, she's like, I don't really feel any different. And I said, well, everybody is different and it takes some time for people. And we did have a conversation, but I think maybe if I were to go back with this and say, hey, maybe we need to look at this again.
Yeah, and because we do have other things besides that. And look, I would love to tell you everybody that I have is on Core 3 Health. They are not. I wish, but I have more people on Daily Essentials that has, and Lynn's shaking her head, so I think she gets it too. I have more people on Daily Essentials than I do on the 3-step plan. I mean, I'm sold on it. I get it. I take it every day, but they love that. But I probably have 4 or 5 customers who, and they're on the auto ship part of it for the core 3. They love it, but they didn't start loving it until their 2nd month. I just kept saying, please give me 60 days, be on this for 60 days. Well, by that time, when they thought they didn't need it, they found out very quickly off of it that they did need it. So I think you're right. It could be they didn't give it enough time, but I love that revisit them and go, hey, I know you tried this and this wasn't your thing, but why don't you take this? Maybe we need to find your thing. I love that. I love that 100%. Anybody else who's got something else here?
I
What could you
just
do
wanted
different?
to say, when I first started, I thought core 3 was where you needed to start everybody,
Yeah.
and I did not have luck with it. And so that's why I was nodding my head. But I think the Daily Essentials is a great one to start people on because they start feeling good right away, usually like 6, 7 days, like Dr. D says. And it's super easy. It's one step. Put it in, pour water in, drink it, instead of keeping track of 3 separate items.
100%. And I look, not everybody's as committed as us, right? Like we're all like, we want to feel good so we can tell everybody. And let me tell you something, I don't know about y'all, but do you ever feel like if you showed everybody what you did in the morning, combining all your stuff together, it'd be like, I only 15 extra minutes to do that and do all that. I'm not doing all that. So daily essentials. And I mean, for me, I take the women's health. Lee takes the anti-aging. But again, it's the thing. We dump it in there. Now we put our our H2 tabs in there and it's done. I so wish that is what I had started people instead of, but I mean, I thought a lot more customers might take on to that, making the $25 back and sharing the link and all of that. And, I had one person who did that and that was great. But it didn't. So yeah, so I think, and think about this, most of when you do that health quiz, those products come up a lot. The H2 tabs come up, the daily essentials come up. There are things that come up that they're like, these are our top products. And rarely do I have the OPC3 come up in the stuff because daily essentials is coming up. So, and that is an easier thing. Lynn is right. They're taking it, they're pouring it in the water, they're stirring it up. It's down, it's good. So, and that is different from the magnesium too, Joy, when I think about that, because it does stir up better. So if people are having the trouble, I know magnesium is for something different, but if we could just get them feeling better, like Lynn said, normally between 6 or 7 days, people are at least feeling a difference when they're taking that. That can be enough for people to start with. So yeah, Joy, I think you should. I think it's a great idea. So definitely let us know how that goes if you reach back out to them. Okay.
Molly, do we know what's going on with the H2 tabs? I mean, I know they've sold like crazy, but
Yeah.
they're a month out.
I know this is all I know right now. Mark and Lauren, they're out of the country right now. And of course, they just found out what has happened. I know that Steve is coming to Greensboro tomorrow. And so they're going to see this. Honestly, they thought they planned for how great it was going to be. And they are struggling, I will tell you that. But Steve says that he does believe the date will be moved up. But as of right now, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And we won't have any more information until Steve gets down there and talks to them. So I'm hoping that we will have something. But I just found out right before the call tonight that Mark had told him he needed him in Greensboro to figure this out, because they can't do it from where they're at right now. And they're on the phone going ballistic because it's our #1 product right now.
Well, and Gary Brecka's behind it. And, there's a bunch of reasons, but I just kind of feel like right now, I don't want to focus on something that's not in stock.
No. Well, I'm not either. That's me. I know we were talking, and do you realize that we were concentrating on products last night, and it's supposed to be protocol, the two together. And Steve, 15 minutes before the call, was like, Mayday, Mayday, we got to change this. We've got to just stick with dailies. And I'm like,
I saw him pull it up and it said
I
pre-order, and I saw him hurry and move it. Yeah.
to like hit this button, and I'm like, because he says we don't want to show that it's back ordered. Then when he brings it up, I'm like, Steve, I'm texting him like,
He hurried and moved it. I saw that. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
so
how
yes,
long
I mean,
is
we
it
have plenty of
recently on
product.
back order? Because my
Yes.
mom was here over the weekend and she just ordered some and it was delivered today.
I ordered mine the day before it went up. The next day, it was 2 days ago, because I get my order. I'm so close. I get it in a day and a half, 2 days. I thought mine would not be in there. Before the call, our UPS man just dropped it off. So if you ordered it before yesterday, you will
Okay.
probably get it, but not now. Not now. You won't.
I'm
So-
sure
Yeah, I'm
there's
waiting on my order
family-
to
I'm
come.
sure they're going to do everything in their power to get it in.
They are, because look, they don't like losing the sales. And the great thing is, look, they are made here. We're not talking about them coming from anywhere else,
Yeah.
but they completely outdid. And I have to imagine between Gary and Lauren and Mark and them, they had to have, just like with her books, way over, I'm sure. And they can't believe what happened, because #1, they're so doable price-wise. Price-wise, they're one of the most doable products that also make the most difference almost instantly.
Love you.
Steaks, things like that. It's huge. So yeah, I'm sorry that we don't, but nothing we can do about that now. But hopefully Steve will have something and they'll be able to move that date up, is what we're hoping, Len.
Well, so in the meantime, we promote the daily essentials and
100%.
magnesium and all the other products we have.
Yep, 100%.
And
I-
vitamin C and collagen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vitamin C and collagen. I just feel like we need to know. That's all,
Yeah. Has anybody gone after the colostrum with the lion's mane yet? Anybody having anything with that yet?
No new orders. I've tried it personally, but no new orders from it
Okay.
so far.
I have
I couldn't get the stuff to dissolve properly. Everybody else has been able to dissolve it properly. It does not dissolve
has
properly
to
in
be
cold
in
water.
room temperature. It
Yeah.
won't
Yeah, I tried room
dissolve if
temperature
it's-
water too, and it still had clumps in
And
it.
I
And I
bought
was
a
just
little
like,
blender. You know the little thing.
The
You
frother, that's
yeah,
what
I
I
have
use,
that.
Yeah.
I have that.
But it
I'll have to
mixes
try
really
that next
good if you
time.
use the little blender, and we just use a little bit of water. But I gotta tell you, Richard thinks it tastes good. I struggle with the taste.
Yeah.
I just kind of hold my nose and chug it down. But I can tell you too, I have been sleeping so much better, and I keep wondering if it's the colostrum that's doing that. Because just since I've been on that, I have
That's good.
been
That is
sleeping like
good.
you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I'm not, well, and it could be, Len. Now, look, I'm not on hours yet. Y'all know the story. 90 days. I did mud water. I have to get rid of the 90 days first, because it was not cheap, because lion's mane is what I was after, and I'm getting it through this company, or I was. But I will tell you, everything from brain fog, and I thought magnesium, it did have me sleeping better, 100% sleeping better. But what I notice is, in the midst of trials, and I need to just say this vaguely, the last 72 hours of mine and Lee's life has been chaos. And Normally, I would be chaos all over the place. And, Lee, the first thing he says, of course, is he's like, you need to get in there. You need to take the lion's mane, take all that. And I have to tell you, I'm sure it was God too, but I was the most level-headed through this thing that we've got going on. And I truly believe, because the only thing that's new to me is that, and I feel like I've been level all the way through. I'm very excited. I was in the trial for that, but they only gave me 3 days of it,
Well, I
Lynn.
was thinking it could be the H2 tabs too. So I don't know what, because
Maybe.
I started them both at the same time.
Yeah, it could be. I just think that I can't wait to get started on that and just that to see, and I can get rid of the other, because I felt like I was clearer thinking wise, even 3 days in on that, but they said you should feel that. This is not one of those things 30 days. They say that this lion's mane is something that's amazing, but the cholesterol and all is supposed to be about better sleeping habits and all of that also. So very well could be. Very well could be.
We have a sleep number bed, and it's like, so it monitors you, right? And so get up in the morning and Richard goes, damn, you didn't move the whole night. I don't know what it is, but
all I know is I was laid out. That's what I know. I was sleeping.
I did want to share really quickly too before we got off and it's like
Yes.
gone now. I don't know. So one of the things that I did choose to invest in was like 100 of these little 3 milliliter jars. It's equivalent to 1 capful of isotonic. So whenever you have people that have taken the survey or they're just interested in learning more about it, if you want to invest less than $1 for a sample instead of because we obviously have the marketing tool, but it's a quick way to get it in someone's hand. They can try it right then or later that evening, and you can follow up with them within the next day. But I've had a lot more success with more conversion with people being able to try it right then versus purchasing the product, trying it later, and then giving their feedback.
What are you putting in
It's
that?
just those little 3 milliliter jars. So
what are
this
you
has
putting in it?
isotonic,
though?
whatever I choose talking about. So this is isotonic magnesium.
Okay, but you're not talking about like the daily
No,
nothing.
because the daily essentials, you can get that on the marketing
Gotcha.
tool. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm saying like if
Plus
say for
they
instance
come in
someone is
packets.
exactly. So like say for
Yeah.
instance if someone is interested in trying the OPC3 and you don't have chews available, but you do have OPC3, you can put 1 capful into this, let them pour it into a shot glass, let them try it right then or tell them try it first thing the next morning. I had a woman that works at Walmart neighborhood market, one of the associates, and she walked in and she looked so exhausted. And I told Phyllis about this the other day. And so we were briefly talking and I was just like, so how's your day going? And she was just like, honestly, I'm exhausted. She was just like, I went to the doctor the other day and they told me that my iron is low. And I was just like, interesting. I was just like, do you think that it could be also like electrolytes or anything like that? She's like, I honestly don't know. And I said, I would like to bring you some samples to try. Just, ask your doctor about it to make sure that it's okay. But I would really love to hear your feedback. And then I told her about the OPC3 chews. She didn't even hesitate. She took the chew and chewed it right then in front of me. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to run back to my house and go and get samples of the magnesium because I have it currently at home. I can pour you a couple samples to let you try it. Try one in the morning and try one in the evening tomorrow. Let me know what you think. By the time that I got home, y'all, an hour later, I went back and her eyes were so much brighter than they were before. And I was just like, how do you feel? And she was just like, honestly, she was like, I was sitting up thinking the few minutes ago when I was checking out, like, I feel so much better. She was like, so yeah, send me your information. She wrote it down on the card. She wanted to take the survey, like all of that just from just having something on hand that they could try right then also can help too. Because I know sometimes we
They're
can
not
talk to
expensive because I used to use them with Avon to give samples out with too. They're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get them from
These are
Amazon.
also good for Pentaxel. So the reason why I thought about these was because when we were in, the only thing that I will tell you, if you're going to pour these samples, have your customers try them within 24 to 48 hours because without having that moisture thing in it, it will clump. It will still dissolve in the water, but just make sure that you let them know that to try to do it within the next 24 hours so that way you can get an active reaction of it.
That's a good
but 10 out of 10 recommend having it.
Don't keep 100 of them done, y'all. Don't do it.
Don't make them ahead. I'm gonna tell you because look, this is one that I made ahead because I had an affiliate thing. This is what the magnesium looks like right now.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so it'll probably still dissolve because it is still isotonics. It's just it has
Reminds me of
moisture
my
in it.
digestive enzymes body.
Right.
It always gets it around the outside. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So I
So
would say just definitely like this is probably the best investment. Have these on hand because the reason why I thought about these, Jocelyn told me that she used these for Pentaxel samples back in the day.
oh,
She said that she would have people put Pentaxel on their one side of their face for a week. And she said by the time the week was over, they would be ready to purchase the Pentaxel because they wanted the other side of their face to match. So
believe it.
that's what made me get these.
Pentaxel is an amazing product. My
It
gosh.
is.
Love it. Love
It
it.
absolutely is.
No
So yeah,
shit.
that's my little 2 cents of sampling because y'all know I love the sample stuff. So
Love that. Okay, so do we have any questions that like something that can't wait? I don't want to keep you guys till 10 o'clock. Lori, I see you. I didn't say hi. Love you, girl. Glad to have you on here. Anything that y'all need, there she is. Hello, beautiful. Good to see you. So anybody got anything? Lynn, have you been keeping an eye on the chat? I have not done the
I
chat.
was just looking. So, Awake's out of stock too.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
by the way, that's a label thing too, but it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But
And
that's
Joanne asked if the colostrum was milky, and Tracy answered her and says it's not really milky, it's cloudy color, but not.
yeah.
It kind of has a milk aftertaste though. It has something. I don't know how to explain it.
Does it? Because do you know that when they gave it to me, it didn't have the apple stuff in it. When I was in the test, it was just the stuff with no flavoring, and I kept thinking it doesn't really taste like anything except there was a little problem on the clumping at first. All they had me to do was have it. Tracy, yeah,
I was gonna say, oh, apple. That's what it. Yeah,
apple,
it's
yeah, it's
fruity,
yeah.
and it does have that slightly milky aftertaste.
You know,
Okay.
Scott recommended on one of our calls to just take the powder and put it on your tongue. So we tried
We
it,
tried it.
and it
How
wasn't
was it?
bad. It
It
wasn't
worked.
that bad. It was
Really?
almost better than putting it in water.
And you can
Oh
really taste
crap!
the apple.
I might try
Yeah.
that then. Daggone it!
I just
Forget-
mix it in my morning daily essentials. I just mix it in there with it.
And you
I
don't
don't
have
know
any
how-
problem. You don't
not-
have any problem with it in there.
No, because I used this little thing. This was my life.
I use
Yeah,
my
That's what I was
Yes.
talking
That's
about.
what we've got. Yeah.
With the colostrum, that's what we use, Tracy. That
Yeah.
little,
Yeah,
That's
it
great.
works just
The
fine.
dry scoop is the only way I take the colostrum now. But the only thing is,
Look at Coco.
I
Look at
warn you, don't sneeze.
Don't what?
Don't sneeze.
Don't sneeze.
Don't sneeze.
Oh Lord, no, don't
y'all's
say that.
traumatic
it back.
experience with stuff. Molly's traumatic experience was with the curcumin when she found out that it was rapid release.
So bad. No, and what was bad is there was a pill broke open and it was all over the pills. And I called them and I'm like, I don't want to complain, but I'm gagging before it gets to my tongue. I hate the curcumin. Bleh. I take it every day because of kidney and liver and all, but no, I don't like that. Shut up, Janae. Quit telling my secrets.
I love you, mean it. I did
I
want to
love
let y'all
you.
know I put
Love
the
you.
link in the comments for anybody that was interested in the jars. There's
Oh,
one link
okay,
in the
cool.
comment.
Hey,
So if anybody
Harriet,
wants to
good
grab
see
it.
you, baby. Becky, I think you had something, honey. What you got?
I had a question. I sent samples, yay, like I finally did it.
Yay.
To a lady I'd been talking to for a while, or a while back, I should say. And I got the email, I think it was, notification from the marketing app that said, you know, we're processing your sample order.
Right.
And I sent her two. I said, you know, take them all for yourself or be nice and share with your husband, either way. But I don't know, and this was a couple of weeks ago, I haven't gotten anything else. So I don't know if she got them.
You won't get them anymore, Becky.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I've been screaming at them over that because now you can't track the sample order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the
Yeah,
only
because
thing you can do is check in a week later and say, hey, did you get them?
When they gave us that last postage hike, how they were doing it for the 6 something and with the thing, they're still trying to make some sort of with another company to see if they can at least keep it the same. But I just looked, I didn't even know until Len brought it up that was happening, and I had sent out 12 samples.
Well, I use the sample app. I use it a lot, and that just really hurt me when that happened
Yeah,
because
because you have nothing keeping you.
and I
and
actually had 2 people that didn't receive them. That's what started that whole email chain that
right.
And so it hurt me. So I kind of backed off on samples, which is really sad because I'm not the only one.
I've been sadly, because of this, I have been doing the 10, my auto ship has got samples in it now, a 10-pack of samples. And that is, I'm doing it because I can do it for cheaper postage, but remember, theirs isn't just, it's kind of postage and the sample. And I didn't even understand, in all honesty, how they could do it for $6.95. That was just me. I didn't know how they were doing that, especially not with the price of postage. But the whole deal is that whole getting back to us and letting us know, that was a whole program. A whole program that when that went up because of they were like, they're not going to pay this for it. I mean, I think it was going up like almost $4 per thing. And I
Wow.
thought, you know, so they're still investigating it, but I am telling our team, if you're going to send, it's not that they won't get them or that, but you're going to have to follow up. And Lynn's right, a week's time is about a good amount of time there to say, let me just, hey, just checking in on you. Wanted to see, did you receive them yet? And if they
They
did,
actually ship from here, Utah or Idaho, or I can't remember.
Shoot, there's Salt Lake City.
I think,
Yep.
and so
It's
if it's
proven.
West Coast, they'll get it sooner. But yeah, they did figure out that most locations in the US will have it within a week. So the best thing you can do is just make a note in your calendar to follow up with them. Hey, did you get it? I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
think I had read
I'll
too
double.
in the Web Center, on the Web Center Facebook page, somebody was complaining about samples not being received or something like that. And I don't know what one has to do with the other or why it was brought up there, if it was in conjunction
and
with
they
something
are
else.
really happy about everybody who has said something, because here's the deal. I think that people just weren't letting them know. Because Jason Pellin's eyes were really opened up with what Lynn was sharing with them. And that made me go back to the 12 that I had just sent and said, hold up, what's going on here with this? It told me it
So
was a process like yours, but nothing
when I
else.
hadn't scheduled follow-ups in my system because I was waiting for the notice saying it
Yes.
had been delivered, right?
Yeah.
And so some of those ended up going quite a long time. And then I had a girl message me and said, I thought you were going to send me a sample. And that's what started the whole thing with Jason,
Right.
and everybody. But
Great.
yeah, so as long as you're on top of it, if you know that going in, which I wish they would be more open with telling people that, but if you know that going in, then you can plan and you can do your own follow-up.
which is not a problem. I knew that everybody was so excited about this because there was all the tracking, because there was all the
Oh, it
email
was so
follow-up and
great,
everything.
Becky. It's
And
so
I
great.
finally get there and now it's different, which is
I know.
totally fine. My
No, it's
question
really
now,
not fine to
We
take.
all agree with you, Becky. We're all right there with
100%.
you.
but I have a follow-up question then, because I'm selling off stock and I ship things through pirate ship. What is the difference between what we had that was being provided in the marketing app that we can buy, say like the Daily Essentials, for example, that came in that nice kit? Is that if you order samples with your regular order, is that not the same sample that was
It's the
being
same
sent out?
thing, but yours is personalized with your name, everything on the little card. See, that was why they did it. It was
Okay.
like,
It's also going to cost more.
it was,
Well, but so how much are the samples themselves if you get a pack
So
of?
there's $6.95 each mostly. So
No,
there's
I mean,
no
if you
price.
order,
You talking
No,
about
if
the
you
10
buy them
pack,
yourself,
Becky?
you'll pay $6.95, and then you'll pay pirate ship $3.50 or $4 or whatever
so
to
they're
ship.
$6.95
Mhm.
even for us.
Per
Yeah.
3-day sample, yes.
Some are
But if you
seven.
get
Oh,
the
okay.
if you get the bulk of 10, then it's like 50 something
So it's
dollars.
cheaper if they do it, but you have more
Yeah.
control if you do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
and,
'Cause I was
do you
gonna
want to know,
say,
you want to know what I really think happened? I don't think a lot of people were using those samplings before our team. I'm not
Yeah.
saying nobody.
I agree.
I'm
I
going to be
agree.
honest. We really jumped into this marketing app, and I think all of a sudden they were like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, what's going on? Something they thought was actually very sufficient. We loved it, but now those people are like, we got to up things here. The people
They're doing home meetings,
doing it.
remember? They're not
Yeah.
sending
Yeah,
samples.
yeah. So they didn't need them. Exactly. So I think that's it. But it's not, they don't want to say that it's just going to be gone, Becky. But right now it's like you've got to do the tracking part until they figure out what they can do with this. And they are, I talked to Jason the other day, they are steadily trying to, they've got 3 other places. two or three, I can't remember what he said, that they are looking at to try to do the same thing. But again, to keep what people were used to, that personalized card, saying that it is from, what it was a beautiful thing, but they say they have lack of control on stuff. I mean, I know personally my packaging just with the post office itself has gone up dramatically, and I use Pirate Ship and I use stamps.com. I use them all.
I think
But
that's gonna get
everything's
worse.
more expensive. I mean, something that's 9 ounces, are you kidding me? And it's going to cost me $4.37 to send it. It's crazy. So just follow up for now until they correct it, or maybe it will go away. I don't know.
Got
I
it.
hope
They
Thank you.
did
I
say
meant
they
to
were
ask
cutting
last
back
week
on
too.
them.
that's okay. I'm glad you did, because this is good. Anybody watching the replay, they'll know if they're on this. Okay. Anything else? Are we all good otherwise? I will definitely send this one out, because there isn't any bad stuff about companies in there, so that's good. And so go back and look, Harriet. I know you came in late, baby, but I'll send the replay out. You can go back. There's a lot of good information in here for you, so you can take a look at that when you want to. Anybody else who came in late, and if you are watching this and you have questions about anything that we're talking about here, you could be newer, or maybe you just haven't been plugged in. Please ask. There's a lot of new stuff that's out there right now. We can meet with you one-on-one. We can walk you through this stuff. And Lynn and Richard, how are Rick and Tina doing?
I actually just sent him a message
Yeah.
today saying, where have you been? I haven't seen you on
Yeah.
my calls. I haven't heard back from them.
Okay. If you do talk to them, could you ask for me if they got their Market America stuff, because it was sent out, but I haven't heard, but they've had a lot going on, so I haven't reached out to them. But just see if they got their stuff from Market America. Steve asked me today and I said, dude, I haven't even checked with them. So if you can do that, that would be great. Joy, what did Joy say? Hold on before we go. Oh my God, 62 messages. I love y'all.
No, Joy just asked what she missed the part about the samples, and then I answered her and explained.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, good. I always see Lynn like looking down. I can always tell. Like if I'm sending her something in private when we're on some call, it's like I see she like glancing in, she watching the messages, see what's going on. I'm like, I figured she had it. Okay. All right. So look, we're here for you. Okay. Please try some of this stuff. Guys, don't give up on that. Don't give up on that app. Don't do it on that quiz, not app, that quiz. I'm telling you, used correctly, it will help you create a relationship, which eventually could create a sale or another sale. No is not no. No is not right now. And even like Coco said, every now and then it is a no. And people just don't care about their health. Let me tell you something. There's coming a day they're going to have to care about their health. And you never know, as long as you leave that door open, they're watching you, they're listening to you. You could be the person that they come to. So it's just not right now. Okay.
Molly, sometimes a no is also, I need more information.
Yeah, that too.
Just
100%.
people will say no to you because they just don't know enough.
Yeah,
yet.
that's exactly everybody. They're all just like everybody wants to sell me something. That's all they think about.
Hey, can I ask a real quick question? If somebody has an answer for this, I hear this a lot. I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, I'm under a doctor's care, so I can't try anything. And so I'm just wondering how you guys are handling that.
I actually have had that a couple times, and I tell them the same thing I did for my mother when we first joined. I took all the PDFs with all the information from the products and had them take, and we sent it to my mom's doctor, and he looked at everything and said, there's nothing wrong with any of this. She can take everything that we were looking at. And so I have a woman that she's, I think her appointment's the 21st of next month. And I gave her the samples and everything. She wants to talk to her doctor. She's taken the whole sample packet and everything to her doctor to talk to her doctor about it first. So I just recommend.
That's a good, yeah, they should be talking to their doctor. But I kind of feel like it's a little bit like Avon when they would go, I'm allergic to Avon. It just means I'm not interested, right?
I think sometimes it is. I take the route Teresa has. I say, well, but is this something that if you could, that could maybe help you get off of medications? Would you be willing if I give you that, if I send you that link? Would you be willing to take it into your doctors if that's important to you? I always throw it back in their court because I have everything in these links that you need for these 2 or 3 products. And if he has a problem with it, then don't take it.
Right.
Look, Lynn, let me tell you. I had a lady who bought the Axe last week, no lie. Last week, the Axe for her daughter and the Thin for her. It was $100 and something order. And had sent her all the information on it, the whole 9 yards. She was ready. Let's go. We're going to do this. And I get a private message from her that says, the packaging says if you're a diabetic, you can't take this. And my daughter is on an antidepressant, so she can't take that. And I said, Leslie, our conversation was, if you're on any medication, you should ask your doctor, because what if the doctor says this could really help you? And just because you didn't ask, you wouldn't know.
That's true. And lots of times a doctor will say, yes, magnesium is
Yes,
great
they
for you,
will.
whatever.
But let me tell you, she was like, no, because your packaging says that, she says.
But they
And I
have
said,
to.
no, it says, it's what I told her. It has to say that because they want you to know that you should check with your physician.
Yeah.
So long story short, let me tell you what happened with that. I thought, I'm taking both of those products. I said, mail those products to me. I'll buy those products from you. I said, because either I have to order them in a week or I can get them from you. And I thought, I'm not losing the BV. It was just that simple. Wasn't losing it. And she says, I'm really sorry. We are going to deal with that. We are going to deal with that with this. But, and because of her, I've got to tell you, it's on my thing now with my one-on-ones with people who want to try something. Is there anything that you're taking that you would be hesitant to start this? Because again, I don't want them to send it back.
Yeah.
I don't want them, especially because people are hearing so much of the stuff about Ozempic and everything and the synthetic and what people are dealing with and all of that. I thought, luckily, those are 2 products I take because otherwise I could not have done that. And by the way, in 15 months, my first products that would have ever been returned, which speaks for itself because I've sold a lot of products. But I thought to myself, okay, Molly, you're gonna be hitting some people that if they are label readers, which I don't know why she didn't read them with what I sent her, but okay. The point is, I would do that, especially with things like losing weight or weight loss stuff, because if people are having, if they're on something for depression, I have 2 other people who are on Xanax and the doctor said, take it because there's nothing in here that can hurt you. I said, that's not your doctor. You need to check with your doctor. But see, she said no. So I don't know what the deal was. So all I'm saying is, again, what Teresa was the one, matter of fact, who turned me onto the PDFs because I said, well, daggone it. I'm just here. Take it. If you're that worried about it, here's the stuff and take it. But I don't think we're going to run into that a lot. But Lynn, I do believe a lot of times it's no more than an excuse. I just don't want to.
That's what it
Well, it's
sounds like
just
to
like
me.
when they would say, I'm allergic to Avon, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're allergic
Yeah.
to shirts and
I used to say the same thing
shoes.
at the breast cancer table. Are you allergic
The
to
fact
umbrellas?
that
I
used
thought
to
the
be
lady was
my
going to hit me with the umbrella.
So in that case, then I feel like and this is what I'm doing, when they give me that, I'm just like, okay, next.
Yep.
You know?
Again, that's exactly
You
right.
can't, yeah.
But I do think it's probably a good idea to say, hey, I'd be happy to give you any information if you want to run it by your doctor before you just blow them off.
Yeah, I do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do it. I do it so I feel like I was able to, Molly, what else could you have done? Because I'm not going to strong arm anybody, but hey, if I offer this to you, you could take this on your next doctor's visit. Look, you don't have to get this now. You could take this with you, have them check it out. And if they don't want to, it's like, look, but I'm telling you, eventually, not all of them, but a lot of these people, they're going to be back because see, Lynn's losing weight, Teresa's losing weight, this person isn't acting like a crazy person, this person's calmer, this person's healthier, their skin's better. They're watching you. They're like, Carrie's not nearly as crazy as she was 4 months ago. She's just so settled now. And once they see that, they're like, girl, what you taking? I need some of that in my life. So that's what's going to happen.
So Joy's asking about the PDFs. Are they the ones that are right on the product page? I was thinking the same thing.
Yes, well, now the site has changed. They've upgraded it. I don't know. Are they on the same place? They were.
They
where I
used
could
to be.
click on it. Yes,
Well,
right.
they
where-
would say there'd be an image and it would say click on image or something. And it
Yes.
would flip a PDF.
Yes.
Yes, Joy, they are on the product page.
Yes.
Cross organization.
Okay, everybody else okay? Because I have got to do a Form 1000 with my girl Haley, and everybody else is going to leave the room, and I'm going to stay on with my girl Haley and Mary right here.
Well,
Okay.
this was good information.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good info.
All right, you're welcome,
Don't
guys.
forget
Have
to
a
turn
great
off the
weekend.
recording before you start with
I
Haley.
am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. What would I do without you, man?
Bye.
Bye.
I love you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Love y'all.